Hello and welcome to this week's video. So this is the weekly reading vlog. I've got 3 books that I've picked out this week. They'd be really cool to get to. There's not loads of pressure to get to them. Ideally I'd like to finish 2. If I don't, it's not the end of the world, but I've got 3 that are to choose from basically. So just before I go through the books and what I'm thinking of doing, I just wanted to say, obviously as I'm filming this today, it is the 2nd of May. So today, as this is going out, as hopefully you're seeing this, it is the first day of Mental Health Awareness Week. Now this isn't worldwide, this is just in the UK. So yeah, the UK has Mental Health Awareness Week every year, and this week is now Mental Health Awareness Week, so the 9th till the 15th of May 2022. Reading a little bit about it online, this has been going on for 21 years now, where Mental Health Awareness Week has been a thing, and every year they pick a kind of like a theme for the week. I haven't really looked into the theme, I haven't really decided what I'm reading based on that, but just the overall, all of these books kind of focus on mental health in one way or another, and I just thought they'd be a really great group of books to read. Obviously I haven't read them yet, and I don't feel like I can really speak on, even after I've read them, if it's good awareness, good representation, all of that jazz. But these are the 3 books that I've chosen. So we've got No Fixed Address. This is a book about Felix and his mom, who don't have the best living situation. They currently don't have a home. Felix isn't allowed to tell anyone until one day he has to make the decision whether he can trust someone to tell. I don't know exactly what the mental illness is in this one and what the awareness is, but I know that we see what is going on through Felix's eyes, and Felix's mom has something going on, is dealing with something. I don't know if we ever even find out exactly what it is, I'm not sure, but online the mom definitely has some sort of mental illness, and that is part of the book, but I don't know exactly how we're going to see this, what sort of take it's going to be, and all of that. So yeah, that is book 1. Then we also have Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine, and this is basically, again, don't know what the representation is, really haven't looked into any of these books too much because I just like to go into my books as blind as possible. But our main character leads a simple life, wears the same clothes, goes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch, buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. She's happy, nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. I don't know exactly what sort of take this can have, but I am aware that this book does heavily focus on mental illness. So yeah, haven't really looked into it too much, but I think it'll be a really good read, and I am looking forward to reading it. And yeah. And then the 3rd book and the final book, well, not final, if I finish all these and read them all somehow magically, I will pick more, but this is the 3rd book that I'm hoping to read, is We Are Okay. Again, I know very little about this, but you go through life thinking there's so much you need until you leave with only your phone, your wallet and a picture of your mother. And I think this is a lot of trauma and things that happened younger on in life and trying to escape them. Again, I haven't even read the full thing, I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, these are the 3 books. Obviously as I pick to read them and as I go through reading them, there probably will be some spoilers. I will either timestamp it in the little bar at the bottom of the screen so that you know when spoilers are going to be, or I'll just put something on the screen if I'm going to start talking spoilery. I won't give anything major away, but obviously I'm going to want to talk about the books as I'm reading them. So yeah, that is that really. I think I'm going to start with We Are Okay, I think. This is the one that intrigues me the most, so yeah, The first book I'm going to read this week is We Are Okay, so I guess we can read all of the back together now. You go through life thinking there's so much you need, until you leave with only your phone, your wallet and a picture of your mother. Marion hasn't spoken to anyone from her old life since the day she left everything behind. No one knows the truth about those final weeks and the tragedy Marion has tried to outrun, not even her best friend Mabel. Now, months later, alone in an empty dorm for winter break, Marion waits. Mabel is coming to visit, and Marion will finally be forced to face everything that's been left unsaid and confront the loneliness that has made a home in her heart. An intimate whisper that packs an indelible punch and gorgeously crafted and achingly honest portrayal of grief will leave you urgent to reach across any distance to reconnect with the people you love. So this is also cool because like it obviously just said loneliness there, so it looks like loneliness and grief are what we're going to be looking at. And yeah, the theme for 2022 Mental Health Awareness Week is loneliness. So yeah, this really just seemed like the perfect one to start out with. I wish I'd have planned it, but yeah. I guess I'll just check in as and when, and if I do anything fun this week, if we're going on any adventures, go shopping, any of that sort of business that could be interesting, I'll take you along with. So yeah, I'll see you next time.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away, as you fade away.
Okay, so actually yesterday now I finished We Are Okay. Yeah, I just haven't updated yet and I don't know why, so I thought whilst I'm sat down, I would update now. Yeah, so I picked this up the other night and I didn't put it down. I just read through like the next like 5 hours or whatever it was, 4 hours, and read the whole thing. It was really good. On Goodreads I've given it 5 stars because you can't give half stars, but for like personal statistics 4.5 stars is what I've gone for with this. I really enjoyed it, and it wasn't a good time, but like it was so interesting. The writing style and everything it was doing was so amazing. I feel like, especially because I had no idea what to expect when going in, like this is my first Nina LaCour book, like I had no idea what to expect, and then for it to be this good was just so lovely, honestly. Loneliness and grief were both very big themes in the book, but they also kind of popped up in ways that you didn't expect, even knowing that they're going to be big themes and even having started the story. There were still ways that they like were present that were, I don't know if I'd say shocking, but they definitely like made you kind of take a step back and be like, whoa, look, I didn't see that coming. And also the symbolism in here, like you can tell that every single thing that was written in here was written with a purpose and intent. There'd be like something in a flashback that would mention, I don't know, just something specific, like a way of talking, a way of being, like a piece of artwork, like some sort of symbolism. And then in the present we'd see over our main character or another character that was like doing that, so you knew they were feeling that way, and like vice versa as well. And there was just so much of that in here. Like it really felt that anything that seemed abstract in one perspective would actually have such an effect at some point in the book. Like there was one point where like about halfway through the book they were just speaking about a piece of artwork, and by the end of the book they were referring to it in terms of emotion. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I've given it 4.5 stars. So yeah, I just thought I would do that little update. Ended up being a very very nice, easy and short book to read. I think that next I'm going to pick up Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine, just because I've got the audiobook for it, and potentially today, but definitely tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do around the house, so I can listen to an audiobook whilst doing that. So on the back here we've got Eleanor Oliphant leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch every day, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. Eleanor Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. It sounds like it should hopefully be interesting, and yeah, I'm willing to give it a go. I'm not sure what I'm going to think about it, to be honest. I know that the depth of this book is quite bad. It gets quite dark and quite deep quite quick, and from what I've seen, most people love this book, but it kind of feels like, obviously I don't know this, I haven't read it, this is just what I've gathered from like a few years of looking at reviews and stuff. The depth and the quickness that we get absorbed into that doesn't seem necessary, and it feels like that puts a lot of people off straight away because they can't get into the story before they're completely absorbed in it, and the sort of feelings and the sort of things that you deep dive into pretty early on, like, you know, I think I've heard these within the first couple of chapters. If you don't care about the main character yet, you might not necessarily care about continuing on and putting yourself through it. So I don't know if it's going to be for me. I think if you can get through it, it sounds like it's a pretty good book. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see. We'll see. Wow. Okay, so I'm about 6 chapters in and I'm not loving it, I'm not gonna lie. So far it's just really boring. Like, nothing's happened in the first 6 chapters, and I'm not really a big fan of the main character. Like, she seems really childish. I've read the first bit of the next chapter, as in, like, as I've got to the page I can see that chapter 7 there's a knock on the door from a social worker, and the way in which she's being written, I feel like there is potential that she's going to be like neurodivergent in some way. But like, I've read Convenience Store Woman before, and in that book the main character is neurodivergent, and it was frustrating in part because obviously you want to be able to be like, no, this person is using you, this person is bad, like, see that, but it wasn't annoying in the way that this character is. And I really do think it's just the top childishness, which I don't know. Honestly, I'm just struggling with it a bit. I'm 6 chapters in, right? So let me actually find what page I'm on, because I have been listening through audio. So I'm on page 65. So what was that, like 20% of the way through? More like 15% of the way through, and nothing has happened, and the main character isn't likeable, which I already struggle with unlikable characters, but like, it feels like this character should be likeable, but they're really like, I don't know, it's just everything. Honestly, I still don't know what the book's about. I'm 15% of the way and I have no clue what's going on, what the book's about, if there's even gonna be a plot, or is this just character focused. We're meeting, or like hearing about lots of different side characters. None of them seem relevant. Are any of them relevant? Is this just internal dialogue? Is this going to mean something at some point? I don't know. At 15% of the way through, I thought I'd at least know if it's worth continuing to read or not. because like I don't want to read this if it's going to be crap. I don't. I think there's still like 9 hours left of the audiobook. I think 9.5 hours maybe, and like that's a lot of time to put into something if you're not going to enjoy it. And like I don't enjoy a lot of contemporary anyway, so like to put so much time into one if I don't think I'm gonna like it, like I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, like I don't know, like I thought that a big part of this was potentially going to be like alcoholism, like looking at the back. Like I thought our main character was going to be an alcoholic, but like I mean alcohol's been mentioned, but again it's one of those things that everything is being mentioned. Like there's every single aspect of everything is being mentioned, every single little thing that's happening, every single like little person that's at all a part of any part of life at all. I don't know. I'm probably going to give it, maybe I'll give it another 6 chapters, get to chapter 12 maybe, and then decide. Okay, so I'm now 23 chapters into this book. It's a good chunk. It's alright, it's okay. I'm still not loving it, but the fact that I'm listening via audiobook, it means like all the house cleaning this week is getting done to the audiobook. Like, I don't know, like it's okay. It's not plot focused at all. It's very character focused. We still don't really know a lot about her. Like you can kind of guess and figure things out, but I'm 227 pages in, and like yeah, I can guess that things have happened in the past and I can guess this and guess that, but like honestly at this point I'd rather just know something solid. Yeah, like I think she's meant to be a likeable main character, and I don't dislike her. I don't care enough to keep on with all of the mysteries. Like I really feel like something needs to be told to us soon. It looks like we've got another like break in the book soon, bad days, which like all of the sections so far has been good days, so I don't know what that will entail, whether we'll find more out. I don't know. I guess you could say I'm plodding through. It's not a bad book, but it's not my sort of book. I don't think I'll read anything else by this author, and honestly like unless the character's really interesting or it's a shorter book, I just don't think I like character focused books. Yeah, like I'm not hating this, but I feel like any chapter could be the last chapter and I'd be like okay, like there's just nothing pushing me on to read more except for the fact that it's like my audiobook choice of the week, so it's easy to chuck an audiobook on. Yeah, that's my update. Sorry, it's a crap one. Okay, I finished the book. I don't know what to rate it. Like this section here in between these two fingers, that was the section labelled bad days, and that was like 4 stars. That was really interesting, like really good. Like I actually wanted to actively keep reading, like I just sat here and read rather than like doing other stuff. But that's quite a small section. Like all this section before it was like labelled good days, and this section at the back was labelled better days, and that was alright, but it was just like a let's give you all the information quickly and make it a little bit weird to round out this book and still try and shock you sort of thing. But like the bad days section was actually 4 stars, but I didn't really enjoy the good days section, and the better days section was just meh. So I don't know what I'm going to give it, to be honest. I'm thinking maybe 3 stars. I don't know. It was an alright book. I'd say if you read a lot of contemporary and like contemporary books, then it would probably be interesting. And if you don't mind the book being pretty much solely character focused rather than plot focused, go for it. But like there really was very little plot, and it just took so long for everything to happen, and it wasn't interesting enough for me to like want to actively keep reading a large proportion of it. I don't know, I've got mixed feelings about it. Like it's a good book, it's a good story obviously, you know, like it shows a very different side to like loneliness and grief and how all of that can show itself in a very unique situation. I just didn't enjoy it, like yeah. I understand why other people enjoy it. Like I can see that objectively a lot of people would enjoy this book. It just wasn't for me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna read another book this week or not. I'm gonna sit down, figure out my ratings and everything, do what I need to do for the evening, and then make a decision. But yeah, book 2 down, and it was okay. I didn't hate it. I also forgot to add that I really appreciated the cat content, because, you know, cats are superior, aren't you? Yeah, that's a yes. Okay, so it is Saturday evening now. I've had no chance to read today, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna have a chance to read tomorrow. So I'm gonna call it quits on this video here. I managed to read 2 books this week. One I really liked. It got like 4.5 stars. One that was just mediocre, it was 3 stars. But yeah, still a good reading week, still had a good time, and I hope that you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this process of me reading. But yeah, that's it for this week. Like the video if you like it, subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this. I do upload every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.